Are you ready to say no to the obstacles in your life and move towards the life you deserve? You're in the right place. Welcome to Follow It Through to Your Stellar Life with your host, Heather Andrews, who will give you the tools you need to do just that. Here's Heather.
Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to our show, Follow It Through to Your Stellar Life. Thank you for joining us, and I'm so excited that you're here. I am your host, Heather Andrews. I help you follow it through on the it in your life to achieve the goal and the life that you desire. Today, we're talking about the differences hiring a coach can make in your life, the pros, the cons, and whether it can be an option for you to help you to achieve your goals. So today I have my good friend and fellow health coach, Awilda Pregnano. She's a mom, an entrepreneur, and an author to help us discuss this and give an insider look. Welcome, Awilda. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Heather. How are you today?
I am doing well. It's a little cold here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and we have literally a foot of snow. So everybody has been out shoveling their driveways. So it's always interesting. Yeah, so it's always interesting when because we had a snowstorm this weekend. So yeah, and everybody always asks, why do you live here? And it's just like, because I love it.
That's so funny. We were expecting a lot of snow. It's not as much as you got, but we got snow yesterday as well. So that's really funny.
Yeah. So today we're just gonna talk a little bit about the coaching world and whether it can help some of our listeners move through some of their goals toward living and meeting what they want for their life. And because there's a lot of discussion in today's world around coaching. Like, what do we do? Are we worth the investment? And what are the outcomes from having one? So just share a little bit about your journey as to how when you got coached and then your journey to becoming one. If you can just share a little bit of that with us, that would be really, really good.
Sure. Thank you for that, Heather. Well, as Heather shared, I am a health and wellness coach, and I work with individuals who are looking to transform into the best version of themselves through either lasting habit change or self-care. So I myself in my journey, I've been through a lot of adversity through my life, and I'm a constant work in progress. So I honestly get just as much out of coaching as I do when I help other individuals through their journeys as well. I actually was introduced into health coaching. It'll be almost 3 years in June of 2015. At that time, I'd been working in sales and retail management for a little over 30 years. It's been my career. And I happened to see an advertisement for a health coaching course. And at the time, I wasn't really looking to make a change. But seeing that advertisement, I just felt a little nudge in my gut. And I just reached out to find out more information. So I went ahead and I scheduled an appointment with the Clarity coach, and I was just hooked. In any role or capacity that I've had with work, my passion has always been to help people. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy being that teacher, the mentor, that supportive person, that go-to person that somebody can count on for guidance and support. So having a career that truly feeds my passion, I felt like, wow, what a perfect fit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty much how I got introduced into it. In conversation with the Clarity coach, one thing that she did mention, she said many students, while they take the courses, they also experience change and growth in themselves. And I thought, you know what, I was really open at that time because I did feel stagnant in my life and how things were going. And I thought, you know what, I'm open to any type of self-discovery that I happen to experience in that process.
Mm-hmm. And what are sort of some of the personal outcomes? So professionally, you got your certification. Now you are helping others transform through habit change, health, wellness, mind shift, and going out and living those great lives. And, and being more mm-hmm. self-aware is key. But what are some of those personal outcomes that you've had from a going through the coaching program, but also being coached by others.
Right. So obviously a big thing for me, and I think a lot of moms, we experience this, is really prioritizing and just taking better care of myself. You know, you don't really realize just how many times we put ourselves last, or how many times we will treat other people so much better than we treat ourselves. So it's really given me that, you know, to be able to look in that mirror and be like, I have to take care of me. The better I take care of me, the better I'm capable of taking care of everyone and everything else around me. Also being coached, it's really given me the perspective of how I was really showing up in all the areas of my life, in health and relationships and my career and my finances, you know, and it's just something I had never really thought about it that way. You know, how you show up one way in your life is how it kind of ripples through all the other areas of your life. And health coaching has really given me the resources and the tools to learn how to better control where I was really struggling in my life. You know, food has always been a struggle. It's always been a challenge. I've fluctuated my weight up and down many, many times. And, you know, going through and being coached, you know, food isn't the enemy. Food is there as a resource. You need food for survival. And I was just constantly obsessed with what I was putting in my body and how my body was reacting, or what the results would be, or kind of regretting, you know, the choices that I made. So it just gave me a lot of looking at myself really, and how I was treating, or how I was responding to things like that, and how to just better control and make better decisions and be better informed. Because really It's up to you. The journey, the coach is there to kind of help you, coach you, they listen, you know, but you're the one as the client. It's really up to you to put in the work and the commitment and the dedication to make that change that you're looking to see.
Right. Fair enough. Well, I know for my coaching journey, I have had probably about 7 coaches in the last 3 years as I've moved through different aspects of my life. And prior to becoming my own health coach, which I call now life strategy, because there's a certain strategy to living a successful life, and that can be defined by whatever success means to you, to the person that you're coaching. I was in healthcare management for 7 years, and then I had upscaled into a bigger management role in the last 3 years before I started my own company. And I found that there was always I really noticed that I was coaching and mentoring people in that role. You know, how they showed up for work, if there was something going on with them personally or professionally, you acted as that liaison on that journey to help walk them through that path to resolution. So for coaching, for me, was a natural progression. I didn't necessarily notice that it was going to be health coaching for me, but with health coaching, it's not just like food and exercise. There's so much more internal work that I found as I was going through my own journey. But I also found that people as a whole in health and wellness, and me personally with my own weight going up and down and up and down and up and down, I would turn to all these, you know, diets, and then I'd land up feeling like crap because I couldn't stay committed. And I didn't understand. I thought there's got to be a better way. There has to be a better way. And then it made me think, like, what am I doing wrong from a perspective of, you know, of eating, and you know, because sometimes foods didn't agree with me, or it was too little, or it was too much, or, you know, just those awareness pieces. So when I found the health coaching course, and one of the key things that, like you said, was how I was doing one thing, it rippled into other aspects of my life. And how it showed up for me was I lacked the commitment to myself to honor myself enough. I was self-sabotaging right, left, and center. Self-sabotaging everything. Oh, I didn't need that. Oh, that's not for me. I'm too good for that. Oh, can't let that person down. Oh, and it was really quite amazing at that, how how that went. So for me, coaching has been a huge thing, and walking through it has really given me an inner look, and it opened up so many realms, and it became my new career, which then led me into being a coach for authors that are publishing their books. And it just has opened up the world. And and that's why I've had 7 coaches, because it's like every step of the way I've been evolving, and I've needed a different coach to help me get through that, because I didn't know how to do certain pieces of that. So.
Right. I think that's also, that's what's been amazing for me is the constant evolvement. And really, the more that you open yourself up, just how much more things, the more you open yourself up, first of all, to release what needs to be released. And then it just opens up all of these other great, really, really great things into your life, all these other opportunities that, I never imagined. If you would have asked me a year ago, this is what I would be doing, this is the place where I would be, I would have never said it. And just to be able to, because I just gone into this full time in September. So really to just dedicate my time full time to this has just been an amazing, eye-opening, this is just what I've been doing. This is exactly where I was meant to be. This is exactly, what I was really born to do. That's how I feel. As corny as it sounds, I just really feel like I'm really on the journey of this is what I was born to do, and it really is such a privilege and an honor to just, be working with people, and for them to allow, to choose me to be that person to help guide them and help nurture, whatever it is, whatever their need is at the time. Working with individuals too, what's interesting is they'll come with one goal. And as we work together and I probe and we uncover things, sometimes they're able to find some other underlying issue that, if it wasn't for our discussions, they wouldn't be able to have uncovered that. So really the more open, the more raw, the more that they really open themselves up to the experience of being coached, they gain so much more from that.
For sure. I know one of my friends, my good friend, Dr. Erin Oxall, who you also know, we were talking about coaching and I always love how she has these great analogies, and she always compares coaching is like the fast track line at Disney World. You get on the ride faster and you have a choice, or you can stand in the line for a lot longer, which is like getting on the struggle bus, and you can be by yourself on that struggle bus for 5 years. And I was telling her that, I was on that bus for so many years with my weight. And then all of a sudden, finally, when I started looking at the food I was eating and how my body reacted, and when I started really listening to my body, it made all the difference in my weight. Plus, I hired a personal trainer who is like a coach, but I also call him my life coach because he's ridden this whole entrepreneurial journey with me. So he's seen the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs. And finally, my weight has stabilized enough where I've actually lost 20 inches in the last year. I'm on different supplements, and it's made a huge difference. But he also keeps rooting you on. And I'm honestly the strongest I've ever been at the age of 47. So sometimes we think of coach, but in life, from like the time that we were like, we had those coaches in our lives, sports team teachers, mentors, facilitators, personal trainers. All of those are coaches. And when we think of like a coach, it can be like that tour guide. They can take you through the struggles and the pitfalls, and they see them sometimes coming even before you do. Like when I was self-sabotaging, I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned was what self-sabotage actually looks like. And it's actually it's a self-worth thing. It's not thinking that you're worthy enough of your outcome. And that was huge for me. Huge. It opened up a whole area, like you said. It just opened up this whole place of knowledge and power and evolvement, and it was amazing. And it has shifted everything in my life. Everything. from finances to health to relationships. And even when we talk about, our money, or like when we're spending money frivolously because we're not honoring that, sometimes you have to look at, like, why are you doing that? And you hire a financial advisor. He's like a financial coach. So we have all these people in our lives that we have guiding us through these, but they're coaching you through all these different aspects.
Absolutely, that's true. And absolutely what you said about the whole self-sabotage thing. I think it's just kind of something, it probably starts really young within us, right? And it's just something that we don't even pay attention, or because it's not pointed out to us, and you don't really realize what it is that you're doing until you have an experience like this with a health coach. So it's just like, it really makes you look, and it's like, wow, I didn't realize I was doing that. It really makes you look at the choices and the actions that you're taking every day that you don't really realize, where is that coming from? Where is that, you want to describe it as the hurt or the struggle within yourself, where is that really coming from?
Yeah. And all famous people, this is the thing, is like when you actually start delving into the world of coaching, I think it was Tiger Woods who had a coach for each type of swing that he had, because each coach had their own way of teaching, and it was to, decrease his score so that he could become the number one in the world again. And so when you ask all of these, mentors, I mean, even Tony Robbins has a coach. So it's just one of those things that, we're not, and it takes me back to the coaches of sports. And one of the quotes that I remember was, life is a sport and we aren't meant to be doing it alone. So we're supposed to be doing it as a team sport, right? We have to support each other. And I think that's the struggle a lot with a lot of things, is that we land up thinking that we need to do this on our own. We need to, without support. And that is probably one of the biggest things that I've struggled with, was I did it on my own, but then I never succeeded. So would you mind just sharing a little bit of sort of like, from your insight and from being coached and being a coach, what are some of the benefits of if someone was to choose this path for themselves to help them reach their goals?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're here, we help with goal setting. If, it's for weight management or meal planning or things like that. But it's also, there's behavioral changes involved, if they're struggling with sleep or, they're having some kind of stress or something. I mean, we're that person. First of all, it's completely confidential. The conversations we have, it's free of judgment. We're there to really listen and to really help and support you in any way, and really offer alternative solutions to try to get through these, through the whatever it is that the struggle is, or whatever the issue is at hand. We help to hold you accountable. We're there to cheer you on. We're also there, if you're trying to make excuses or trying to self-sabotage or trying to we're kind of there to call you out on it. So throughout this journey, we're that partner that you have, that it's kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Because you're just going to get the honest feedback from a coach that you may not get from your best friend or a neighbor or a sibling or someone that you may be confiding in. We're there to really help you. We really want you to see you through to your goal, whatever that goal is.
For sure. Could not agree more. I found that some of the best outcomes and benefits that I've noticed is, as you said, there's the support, the no judgment zone. But one of the biggest things for me was when I was in my darkest time, going through a huge shift in my life, a huge mindset shift, business shift, and the coach held a bigger vision for me. She saw something in me that maybe I wasn't seeing at the time. Like, it was a really dark place for me. And I kind of almost say that she held the lantern. Like, she held the lantern and just said, it's over here, but we have to go through this and this and this and this and this so that you can reach that light that you're going to reach at the end of this. And then you're going to go on and achieve more. And I found that once she did that, it was so nice to have that somebody in that space believing in you when you really didn't have a lot of belief in yourself and you really were in a very fearful place because because I didn't know what was happening in my life. And it just made me, that in itself was transformational. And
that's amazing. I love that analogy.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like that coach is holding a space for you. And I know that that's kind of a holistic term, but she's holding, as you walk through, she's with you and she's kind of like creating this bubble around you so that you can walk through, do your healing, do that self-discovery, that evolvement, increased self-perspective. And you know that you're not really in it by yourself, but you're doing the work. She's just guiding you and holding that light. She's kind of like that tour guide, right? She's showing what's on the left, she's showing what's on the right, and she's showing you what is probable and possible for your life if you just kind of get out of your own way and work through the shifts that, she's helping you with. And that's what my coach did for me, and it literally changed my life. And that's one of the things that and of course, everybody always asks, well, you must have spent a lot of money on that. And my response always is, yes, I have. I have spent a lot of money, but on the same token, I call it was my master's in life mastery is what it was, because I have learned so much and I can live a better life. I can live a different life. And it's my choice. And the other thing is that I've lost my weight. My finances are in better condition. My relationships are better. I'm a better parent. And I'm actually modeling and teaching my own children some of the things that I've learned, because it's a stressful, busy world out there for our kids. And they get into dark times too. And you need to have those conversations with them. And I've had those conversations with my kids, and we've worked through things together. And so it feels really powerful to be able to know that and to have made that investment, because it was like life altering, and I could have stayed in my dark, dark space, but my life wouldn't have been very much fun. And I think one of the biggest aha moments that I had was when I felt that I was actually worthy enough to make the investment. And it was okay. So that was one of the biggest shifts for me as I walked through being coached and then putting my money into the intuition, which was an investment in self as well. And then going out and providing that service and helping others and be that one that holds the lantern for someone else while they go on their journey.
Wow, that's amazing, Heather. I love that. I think it's so important. That's like the best gift that we can give ourselves, right, is that investment, and that that you honor and value yourself enough that you're really going to commit to the program, keep an open mind, and most of all, really embrace that circle of trust, that relationship that you have with your coach, the coach and the client.
Yeah.
So,
and also the trust that we have in ourselves. Yeah, it's okay. We're good. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just one of those things where it's one of those things that the person finds that trust within themselves. And I think when a person is open and in that capacity, we can so many other things open up and other opportunities come. And it goes back to when people go, I don't like my job. Okay, then what steps can we take to get you to the next step so that you can go out and believe in yourself, that you can go out and get another job or a different career. And you can, because change is hard. And that's why we have change management people within corporations, because change is hard. Those people are there to guide people through major change. And that's the thing that sometimes I don't think that people that necessarily in society today, sometimes people don't understand that coaches provide that same role as someone in corporate guiding them through something. It's the same thing. So anyway, that's just my take on the coaching perspective. And you gave so much awesome information. And so as we wrap up here, Wilda, do you have 3 mindset tips that we can share with our audience today that they can walk away and, simple little tools that they can walk away with and implement that can maybe make a difference in their life today?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the first, and we kind of went through these, but just to really keep an open mind about the process. Mm-hmm. The more open that you leave yourself to the experience, the more that you will get out of it. And really just embrace that circle of trust between the coach, between the coach and the client. And don't be afraid to be raw and honest, because you know what? The more you open yourself, the more you open up those wounds and all that stuff comes out, the more you're able to heal. The healing starts from inside. Yeah. So it's really important that you just reveal all that. And then the last thing I would say is just, don't hold back from honoring and really valuing yourself. Give yourself that gift of self-love and go ahead and invest. Make that investment in yourself, because you know what? You are worth it. We are all worth it. And when you do that for yourself, that self-love is going to ripple out to everything and everyone else around you.
For sure. Absolutely. Probably my 3 mindset tips are really always communicate what you need. And if you don't know how to do that, just ask for help. Ask for the support that you need if you're feeling like you're doing it all and you're not having any time for yourself, because that leads into the self-care. The self-care is putting, you back in your own life. It's a great gift. If that's even where you start, is scheduling 10 minutes for yourself, whether it's reading, walking, sitting in your backyard, whatever that can look like. I won't sit in my backyard because I'll freeze to death. And just really setting some boundaries around that, around your time, and just putting you kind of just moving from that place of always putting yourself last into moving yourself first. And it comes from that asking for help, kind of setting a clear path, putting some boundaries around your own time so you can carve that out in your schedule, so that it creates that space for a bit of self-care for yourself, so that you can actually stop long enough to actually think about and absorb some of the things that we've shared with you today within the coaching realm. So thank you, Awilda, so much for joining me today and helping our listeners kind of understand a little bit more about what a coach and the difference that they can make in your life, and whether it's for them or not. I appreciate that so much.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks. And to all of our listeners, we thank you for joining us today, and those listening to the replay. Once again, I am Heather Andrews, helping you reach your stellar life, which is one of serenity, transformation, energy, laughter, love, a life full of activity, the skills for resiliency, so that you can have better relationships and achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Till then, go out and live your stellar life.
The work does not end here. Learn more about what Heather can do to help you get the stellar life you deserve at her website, followitthrough.com. Join Heather next week at the same day and time for more on how you can break out and follow it through to your stellar life.